you fuck up the one yet?
I hit go live, Patrick.
You.
Sorry if you had to hear Patrick's dirty mouth.
Why would you have asked? It's obviously live. Why would you have asked the second
go
question?
live and then there's a second go live. So I hit the first go live.
You went live.
I apologize. Okay, so now you know Patrick has a foul mouth. And, yes, so there are two go live buttons when I go live, and I had hit one of them, and then I asked Patrick, do I need to hit the other one? And that's when Patrick dropped the bomb. So, there we go. Hi, Irene. Watching's good. I was just thinking we should just call this Sit and Sew. We should just call this A1 Vacuum and Sewing Sit and Sew with Jeannie. And you can do whatever you want, right? Good morning. Hi, Dot. How you feeling? Okay, as I was preparing this morning, I realized...
Are you all set?
Everyone can hear, right? And everyone can see? Because Patrick's getting ready to take off for the day. And so I just want to make sure we all have it. So as I was preparing for today, I think I did my homework properly. I did my homework last night. And hello, Texas. So I did my homework last night. And here's my homework. This is what we stitched out the first day. We stitched out this block and our filler block. I didn't cut anything out because I'm going to cut today with you. And I'm using this piece here, which is 12 inches by width of fabric. I'm using this to do my inner borders. So, because we can do those in one fell swoop. Now, homework. This was our first stitch out at our Sit and Sew. The one with the little birds, and it was so cute. And then this is what I stitched out last night, which was my homework, which I finally got done. And so we'll trim these out later. So I'm going to put these to the side. This has my coveted, like my last 2 drops of best press in it because I didn't realize I had no best press here. Okay, and what we're going to do today is we are going to start out by stitching out these pennants. I can see and hear perfect. Did you guys hear Patrick? I'm hoping nobody heard him, that it wasn't, we weren't live when he said what he said. Okay, we're going to do this, and I was going through my stuff going, oh my goodness, I don't have the felt. So I have no idea why I don't have felt. Sometimes when I take kits home, I take we call it the reject kit. Like a kit that's like not perfect or something's wrong or it's got a miscut in it. I always take that. So I might have grabbed a kit that didn't have the felt in it. So I need your opinion because you know I'm doing mine with the aqua border, which I'm super excited about. How cute is that going to be? And so I just went into my stash of felt because I have all different felt. And I was thinking, should I do my pennants like with this instead? Is that going to be gorgeous? Or should I just go the pink? I might just go the pink. And I didn't pre-cut it because I'm just going to cut it as I stitch. I'm thinking pink. That'll bring out, I don't know what it's going to bring out. It's going to bring out the pink in the embroidery. Cindy watching today. I love this. I know this pillow is so cute. It is really, really sweet. And guess what? I started cutting last night. Let me grab it. I love the square pillows. I just absolutely love them. So this is going to be the next square pillow. It is called Life is Better in Full Bloom. These are all my lines for all the fabric that's been ordered and cut. And I'm cutting 48 kits. We probably went through 100 kits of Tweetheart. But I think with this, I'm going to start with 48 and then we'll just go from there. So, but this is going to be the next one. And the only thing I'm going to change because it's going to be so much cuter. This is supposed to be Muse, which is that like mustard yellow. I'm going to do floral. Like there's this one right here, and there's this one that's a stripe. So I think I'm going to choose one of those instead because it's just going to be cuter. The other thing we can do is I bought a lot of the blue, and so we could do the blue as the border and switch it. Do yellow here and then the blue petals. You guys are going to have to tell me what you think, and then we'll make a decision together as a group. All right. I'm trying to check your messages as, hang on, let me open this up so I can see them better. Either color is beautiful. I know, I just love the blue. From any place, order online. I know, I need to, I can actually just grab a gallon of Best Press from the store, but I just forgot. So to do this, the material listed below are for 4 pennants. I'm going to be using tearaway. So here's some tearaway. I have like a huge thing of just leftover stabilizer from all different events that we have done. So I just grabbed some tearaway out of there. Skate. This was from I think one of the Kimberbell events that we had some left over. I cannot find my red twine either. My kit did not have the red twine, and who cares though, because look at all the fun stuff I have. So I figured I'd just grab something out of here, like maybe I could use this instead, or maybe some ribbon, or I'll find something. This twine was really pretty too, this like gold one. So I'm just going to use something from there. But you have red twine that came in your kit. And of course, it looks like I don't have my, looks like I don't even have my, I don't even have my buttons. I'll put the buttons on later. So first thing that we're going to do is, here are your hooping instructions. Heavyweight stabilizer larger than the embroidery hoop. They want you to be using the 5x7. So I'm going to go ahead and hoop this up in my 5x7, and I will probably advance it as we go, meaning I'll unhoop, rehoop, unhoop, rehoop. We had Pennants in One Sweet Spring, and so we just cut one big piece of tearaway, and everyone rehooped. They unhooped, they rehooped, they unhooped, and they rehooped. So I'm going to start right here. Let me see how big this one is. Look, this one has a big piece out of it too. Can I hoop in this? That looks like maybe it was for, oh, let's just use this. Feels so good when I have stuff sitting there, because I don't want to throw this away. But there is a freedom in just throwing stuff away. Like, this clutters my mind. Like, I have to use it. And it would be nice for me to just have it be gone. And I don't have to look at it and it's just gone. And then out of sight, out of mind, I would forget about it. Right? Okay. Stitch the center cut fold line. Let's go ahead and take this over to the machine. Load the correct letter embroidery file, and we are stitching out love, L-O-V-E. Let's head on over here. Grab my filming arm. I'm just starting to get really excited about my new furniture, but I just I'm not sure how it's going to work. I said that to Patrick. I go, I don't know if new furniture is going to fix my problem, which is too much stuff. Should I go for the blue? Maybe I'll just do the blue, and if I hate it, then I don't have to use it. Change the blue aqua. Like the switch. I want to make sure I'm not missing any messages. Okay. Let's go in here. I'm going to go to my USB and Tweetheart PES. And you don't have to go in order, right? It doesn't make a difference. I'm just going to do the first one, which is the E. Oh, look. This is because I was making sure last night when I was stitching that everything was going to fit. I had some really weird thing happen where the size of my my placement for my placement for my batting, the stitch out was super tiny. I didn't know how that happened, so I took a picture and redid it. So to get rid of this, if you are on a Luminara Solaris, you just go here to this button and you can just throw away your background image and you can bring it back. Whichever one you just took, you can bring back on and off. other way you can do it, if you're on a Destiny or a Dream Machine or one of those, you would, so let's go ahead and put that back on. This will be your mini lesson. You can go into your settings and you are looking for this right here where it says background image display. And then I can go ahead and delete this. And FYI, fabric thickness sensor and embroidery, leave it off. If you put this on, you're going to have issues using that snowman sticker. Leave it off. In sewing, turn it on. We're in embroidery, leave it off. So I'm going to hit delete background image. I remember the first time we discovered this in the store, like that you could take a picture. Sandy and I did it, and we were like, oh, it's so amazing. And then we didn't know how to turn it off. Okay, I'm going to choose my 5x7 hoop. You could do multiples. I guess I could have done this. Probably should have done it that way and just done multiples in your hoop. So there it is. In the future, I'm going to close that. Let's see, edit, rotate. Okay, so it's a little too big. So this is the 5x7. I wonder if you did 6x10. These are 3 inch. You could fit like 3 of them at a time. Or you could just do an 8x12 hooping. And then I think 3x5.5. Yeah, you'd be able to fit all of them in an 8x12. But we'll just go ahead and do one at a time. So I'm hooping this way. So then I'm going to go ahead and hoop and move it to the right. So I'm going to take my design and I'm going to scoot it all the way to the left. Let me slide my hoop on. Once you slide the hoop on and you go to your next page, it will not allow you to go outside of your embroidery field. So a lot of times I'll move it in my second page. And then we'll just move it over. That way we save all of this. I'll do my next hooping, my next hooping, my next hooping. We might be able to just use this one piece for everything. Just looking at your messages, just making sure I'm not missing anything. So it says, color's not going to make a difference. Stitch the center cut the stabilizer and place it. And I am going to do white, but I have yellow in here right now from the flower from last night. So I'll just leave that in here and then I'll change it when we go to stitch the letter out. And then we're going to cut the stabilizer on the center cut folding line only. And they used a little pair of scissors. I love this one. Sometimes you need a little rotary cutter. You know what I have that's perfect for this? I don't even have to move it. I have a little mat, my rotary mat. I'm just going to slide it underneath. And we're just going to cut that. Right on that. Whew. Perfect. All right. Now it says stitch the pennant placement line. So I'm going to go ahead and stitch that out. I'll just leave the yellow in there. Hopefully I'll have enough of this felt. We'll try. Hopefully this is going to be big enough. It needs to go around that whole thing. This is actually, ooh, this is like nice felt. This is like the real deal. I ordered this from Wool Felt. Because in my head I dream about doing wool as well. I don't know. I think I can do it. Let's try it. What are we going to do if I can't? Let me see how much big it really needs to be. Because you have all of that. And then it's going to get folded down and it's going to get trimmed down. I think we can do this. I'm just going to go for it. But I'm going to get this right at the edge. There we go. Okay, I'm going to switch over to white thread. Last night I finished my my March cuties. And then I did my homework for this. Because you know what happens on Friday nights? No, on Saturday nights, I go, I'm going to do everything on Friday night or Saturday night. And then I get home and I'm so... That's it? Because I could have moved that over, couldn't I have? Okay, we'll keep this in mind for the next one. Stitch the pennant placement line that I did. I am doing this wrong. We have to stitch the pennant placement line, place the edge of the pennant felt along the pennant placement line, and then we're going to use a clear visible color. So I needed to just stitch that first and then lay this down exactly in the line. I'm sorry about that, folks. Because I didn't, wait, I did stitch that, but this should have gotten laid down right inside of it. Okay, sorry, little bit of a sidetrack. Let me go ahead and just remove this. This is my new favorite seam ripper. I've had it for a while, but I couldn't find all my other seam rippers. So this is the one that I used last night. And because this is going to get laid right inside of here. And what I love about it are the tweezers that are connected, because as I was removing my stitches, I was just grabbing onto threads and just pulling them out. And it just made it so easy. These, and also, you know, they're Flamore, and you know how much I love my Flamore stuff. Sorry. I hate leading you astray. Give me just a second, because I think I'll have enough for this. No, it's 12 inches. I need 3 by 9. 3 by 5.5. Okay, give me just a second. 3 by 5.5. Okay, stitch the pennant placement line, which we did right here. Place the edge of the pennant felt along the pennant placement line, and then using a visible thread, you're going to stitch the tack down. So let me just go back to the beginning of this. Sorry, I'll get my Sojo back. Here we go. If you want to give it a shot of spray, you can. I'm just going to kind of hold it down and just make sure it looks gorgeous in there. Let's slide this back on, and let's give this one more go. Here we go. Stitch the pennant letter fill, so I'm going to go ahead and stitch the, for me it's the E, because I'm just loading it in order. We'll just do them all. And then we're going to remove the hoop from the machine, cut the stabilizer along the top half of the pennant. Beginning and ending at the center cut fold line. I'm just going to use my little rotary cutter again and my cutting mat. I'm just going to stick it on my lap so I don't have to move too far. I know, it is really exciting that I'm getting new furniture. I'm a little resistant to change, and I quite honestly, I love my koala, so I'm hoping it can make everything, it can solve all my organizational needs, which I don't think it's going to. So it says remove the hoop from the machine, cut the stabilizer along the top half of the pennant placement line, beginning and ending at the center fold line. So I'm just going to flip it over from this side because I can see it. Actually, no, because it's going to be too far off of this. And here is my fold line right there, so you can just kind of pull it back a little bit. Patrick and I were looking, so Patrick dreams about having, someday when we retire, he wants like a, not an RV, but more like a camper kind of thing. And so I was thinking, but they're not very big. It's not going to be like, you know, like a fifth wheel or something like that. So I was trying to decide, like, what can I do? I'm going to have to, because I'm not going to be able to bring machines. I was like, maybe I can just do handwork or something like that. So tuck the pennant felt through the hole cut in the stabilizer, turn the hoop to the back, fold the pennant felt down, aligning the stitch line, and smooth the felt into place and tape the corners. So we're going to flip it over. We're going to fold this back, and we are going to pinch it right at that fold. And we're going to go right to the corners, and we're going to tape it down. And I was like excited because I thought, oh, I can knit. I mean, there's lots of like portable things that you can do, right? But then would I have like such horrible withdrawals? Here comes Patrick, making lots of noise. Tape that, tape that. Okay, did we do that right? Taped it, and turn the hoop to the fold of the pennant, aligning the stitch line smooth. I think they're just showing you that corner. And now we're going to stitch the pennant final outline. This stitch leaves a 1/2 inch opening at the top of the pennant to insert your twine. I'm going to let him
in just because I think he's going to bark.
Yes, Momo is barking at the door. He's saying, take me with you.
Yeah, that would.
Patrick came down. Patrick came to set things up, and it sounded really quiet upstairs. You know when it's quiet and you go, it's too quiet? Poppy had jumped on, I think she jumped on the chair. She might have she throws her arm up like a meat hook, and she'd grabbed his bagel, and so they were eating it, the two of them. She's so naughty. Okay, I'm going to hit start. Does want you to do white. Hopefully I'm doing this right because I'm talking to you. You know what that leads to. And we are going to cut out a little bit outside of that line when we're done, which makes me go, okay, if my last piece of felt is a little small, I think I can kind of make it work. And we're done. Let's go ahead and scoot our stabilizer over. I'm going to scoot it, and we'll do the next one. Just going to leave that. Poppy's in her crate. She can't be trusted. All right, we'll do the next one. We're going to scoot it right over here. Let me go ahead and put this back up. That was easy. I'm just going to leave the white in there. I know you can't really see it that well, but I think you get the gist. Let's say okay. We're going to go home, embroidery, USB, Tweetheart, and now we'll just do the next one, which is L for me. As long as you just do them all, the order doesn't make a difference. I'm going to touch embroidery, and then I'm going to scoot it all the way to the left. And if you're working your way down, you know, you could easily have done this. It's only 3 inches. Oh, no. I was going to say we could do it in our 4x4, but it's too tall. So let's go ahead and do the next one. Easy peasy. That's our cut line. Where's my little map? I'm going to pop this underneath again, just so I don't have to, like, totally take it off. I brought so much fabric to cut. Hopefully I get through it. Because I wanted to cut for the Lori Holt quilt seeds quilt too. That one's going to be amazing. Okay, so we just did this step again where we cut across here. Now we're going to do the placement line. Just going to hit start. And you're not going to see it well because it's going to be white on white. Oh my goodness, Shannon. Can I tell you how cuddly? Momo's there, so I don't want Momo to be jealous. Because I wonder how much she can understand. She is so cuddly. We crate train them at we did a really bad job with Poppy. Because Momo we crate trained until he was like 6 months. And then one day he just protested. And he's crate trained, meaning like we can like leave him for the day and we'll put him in the crate and he's fine with it. Poppy's already sleeping with us in bed. I know. We kind of let her out of the crate a while ago. And, okay, now we're going to stitch the letter. I already have white in there. So, she's been sleeping with us, and she is so cuddly. You wake up, and her head is on the pillow next to you, and you are spooning her. Momo doesn't, he'll sleep on the bed with us a little bit, but he likes his space. You know what I love, Rolo, is I like crafting out in nature, and I used to do a lot of beading and knitting. And so, okay, we just stitched that. Now we're going to trim the top part again. So it's just nice, like having a camp chair and like setting up and being outside, and you can't beat it, right? You just can't beat it. So my dream sewing room, which, I mean, I'll never have this, but my dream sewing room would have those like big, like glass doors that you could just slide open. And then I would just be one with nature. Okay, you're just going to trim around the top part. How quick and easy are these? So much fun. So this rotary cutter is I want to say it's 28 millimeters. I don't use it a ton, but when I want a small rotary cutter, I don't like using the bigger ones because I don't know where it's starting and stopping, so I tend to like go too far or not far enough. Fold this back. It's like a little crunchy there. I'm going to fold that. Looks good. Oh no. Poppy's crying upstairs. I have a really tough time letting my puppies cry. Okay, now it's going to do the outline stitch. And it will leave that, what is it, 1/8 inch, so you can put your twine through there. So, you know what is so, I was thinking this morning as I was getting ready for the sew along, I was like, I'm so glad I'm doing the sew along. Because, and you've heard me say it before, it keeps me on track. Like if I don't do the sew along, I would totally like put this to the side and then I might be upstairs eating cereal and watching TV. Okay, we're going to loop up for the next one. So I just love that I have like a set time that we get together. Ew, that doesn't quite make it, but it's okay. I'm going to use this whole piece and then we'll use that other one. I love that we're going to have, I think starting in, because you know, oh, so delightful. My shipping confirmation. I'll have to check it again this morning. All right, load your next letter. But as of Friday, oh, so delightful. Everything should be here. It should be here tomorrow. So I am going to go to, let's go home. And again, I'm just going in order of how the designs are loaded. So we did ELO. I'm going to go embroidery. My hoop is already on, so I'm just going to scoot this all the way to the left. Say okay. And we're ready. We're going to have like 50 packages to send out tomorrow. Patrick and I will do our best to get everything out tomorrow and Wednesday. And you'll get it, what, probably tomorrow is the, oh my God, tomorrow's Valentine's Day. What's Patrick going to get me? Just kidding. I should do something very romantic for him. Shouldn't I? I have this here, so I just slid it off. But you could just slide your mat underneath, too. I should do something for my kids. Okay, what's everyone do? What do you do for your kids for Valentine's Day? Now it does the outline stitch. Oh my God. So, Cheryl, I feel the same way, especially with a lot of the Kimberbells. Like, I did not get Shout Hooray, but I keep thinking, I think that's going to be way cuter. They're always that way. I end up stitching it out. I probably will end up stitching it out. I didn't have, there's no time for me to schedule like a sew-along. I still haven't done Merry Christmas, y'all. Oh my God, I still haven't finished my embellishments for Cup of Cheer. This is bad. Because other stuff came out and I got bored. My Cup of Cheer is sitting here all done. The only thing it needs are the embellishments. Okay, stitch out the O. But Shout Hooray just has like a different vibe to me, like a different look. So I kind of want to do it. So next weekend, I think I'm going to try and stitch out, or next Monday, this is a maybe, but I'm going to try and stitch out one of the projects from Oh So Delightful. You might not have your stuff in time, but I will try to get it to you. But of course, we'll record it. And then I'm just trying to figure out when, okay, now we're going to trim around the outline. Trying to figure out when we should start the sew along. And because the first Monday in, that wasn't very straight. First Monday in, what's the next month? March? First Monday in March, we're doing cuties. So are you guys going to be put out if we do it the second Monday? And my girlfriends and I I can't do... My girlfriends and I are actually meeting in Vegas. These are my girlfriends from college. And we're going to go see Adele. So I am out which Monday is that? Not next Monday, but the Monday after. Not be around. Be traveling back. Okay. Outline stitch. And then we're going to have to do one more letter. Alright, Shannon, I want you to make it a priority to stitch with us. And then you can get your projects done. Okay, let's load the last one. I think I might need another piece of stabilizer. And I have just enough, oh my goodness, like this was meant to be because I have just enough felt to do the last one. I wonder if I could hoop. Let me get a piece of tearaway. I have that other piece. I know people have been waiting for these mats, and can I go this way? No. I will check on them again because they were supposed to be here. I'm just going to do it right here. Since I'm going here in the corner, I'm going to scoot my design left and down, and then I'll have everything else. I'm just always thinking about how I can just maximize the use of all my stabilizer. And you do not have to just stitch out centered. Although that is the easiest. Let's do the last letter. Home. Oh, we'll go embroidery and then we'll scoot it. Layout, move, scoot all the way left and scoot all the way down. And now I'm just using that bottom left corner. Go ahead and hit start. It's going to do the line across first. I don't know about you, but I just feel like the cuties, they're so cute, and they're kind of like like this Tweetheart pillow. I feel like these kind of projects are more bite-sized than the quilts, and I can actually get through them and finish them. Whereas sometimes I struggle a little bit. I get bored really easily. And it's kind of like dinner, the dishes, like everything. I'll do the dishes and I'll always leave like a plate that I just don't feel like, or like one last bowl and I just don't feel like finishing it, or my meal. I do the same thing with that too. I'll like eat and then, I don't know, there's just what, well, I'm pretty good at cleaning my plate. But I get like that with projects where I just get bored and I just don't feel like finishing it. A lot of times it's the binding. I'm like, oh, I just don't feel like doing the binding. Or maybe it'll be an embellishment that I don't feel like doing. I did the blanket stitch for this last one with a variegated green. I gotta show it to you because I don't know what happened. I had like one section where it was really bad. I was like, oh, this looks amazing for the whole thing. And then I was looking at it and I had a corner where I don't know if I just wasn't sewing straight and I pulled it, or and the blanket stitch, that's like one of those things that you have to start and finish and you can't really like just tie off and like start again. I guess you can. All right. When we're done with these, we're going to trim the project on the outer stitch line. Do not cut along the folded edge of the pennant. Trim or tear away the remaining stabilizer, and then you're going to trim the 1/8 inch away from the pennant. And this is a good hint. Make sure to load a different letter embroidery file each time. All right, and now we're going to trim. We'll fold back and then we'll let it do that last stitch out. What do we use from here? Turn it back to the machine, do that final stitch out, and then we'll be ready to trim these down. Okay, so it wants you to remove any tape and then cut away the excess stabilizer along the pennant placement line. This is tear away, so let's just tear it away, right? My favorite tear away is, I like Baby Lock's Tear Away Firm. Because it gives you, like, it's not super, super heavy. Some of that heavy tear away is really hard to rip away. Like the stuff that you use when you're doing the tiling scenes. Is this going to rip away too? Are we supposed to cut this and then do it? Support your felt too. You don't want to distort it. I feel like you're going to be able to get closer just ripping it. Did the new website... No, the new website hasn't started yet. I have no idea what's going on with that because, and I told Patrick I don't even want to talk about it until it's like up and running. We've had some issues, and I have no idea when it is going to be up and running. That's a good question for Patrick. You can ask him. You want all of this out of there. You don't want to see this in the seam line. I don't know about my new email address. I don't know. I told him I'm ready whenever he's ready, but... Oh my God. Poppy's crying. I don't know if I can take it. She can't be down here, though. She is not to be trusted yet. It's this like little mournful cry. So we've always had boy dogs. Poppy's our first little girl. And I feel like little girls are sassy. But she is so sweet. And she sounds different than Momo. Like, he definitely is a boy. All right, I have my last one too, right? It's really in here next to the thing that you don't want any of this tearaway in there. If you're using tearaway heavy, that's definitely going to be like tearaway firm. So the Baby Lock product, they have a tearaway soft and they have a tearaway firm. And just based on their names, I thought tearaway firm would be stiffer, but it is thinner and it rips away more easily than the tearaway soft. And the tearaway soft is like softer but more fabric-like. I don't know if I need to get all of that. I'm going to get all of that in there now. And then we can use our tweezers if we really want to get in there. I just want to get enough that you're not going to see it when we trim it. That was not a very good tear job right there. Okay, let's do the last one. Oh my goodness, is he clingy? Your little boy's clingy? That's so funny. I'd have to say Momo is more of a chicken than Poppy. She's definitely more adventurous. He's more cautious, but I think that's like personalities like just kids, right? I don't know if Momo's it's funny how they're like children too. They just have like these personalities and that's just kind of who they are. I watched the Puppy Bowl yesterday. I'd never heard of it, and then I saw some kind of advertisement. I did watch some of the Super Bowl too. We're not big football folks in our house, but I like watching football. I just don't. It's not what I'm going to dedicate my Sunday to. And but I was in here sewing, and when I wasn't filming, I turned on the Puppy Bowl. I guess the commentary, they're so good. They're so funny. Did I do something wrong? What do you mean when I pull my tearaway away, your stitching's coming out? Number one, if you're using heavyweight, you just have to kind of support it. But yeah, if your stitching's coming out, maybe either your bobbin wasn't in right. Maybe something wasn't in quite right, because look at my stitching's completely intact. So, or maybe you are so strong that you are accidentally, like you're pulling too hard and it's ripping. So now we want to trim 1/8 of an inch away. So I'm going to grab my handy dandy. This is one of my favorite size rulers. This is my 6.5 by 12.5 inch ruler, and I love it. I'm going to be using this ruler today. I'm also going to be using my 4.5 by 18 inch ruler, and it wants you to go 1/8 of an inch. So I'm just going to use this. Am I ready for this step yet? Let's see. Yeah, I'm right here. If you rip it now, it's going to be hard to get like that little piece. Like I have a little piece right there in there. And I'll probably grab my tweezers and get it. But I would definitely rip as close as you can before you do this step. I'm just setting it up 1/8 of an inch. Isn't that cute? And if you leave it in there, nobody's going to take your little pennant and go, oh my goodness, I see it. There's a piece of stabilizer. Jeannie's big loser. She didn't get it all. So don't worry about it. Nobody's going to look. I may or may, I'm a picker. So I may go back in and get that later on. I'm always like, I'm going to leave that. I'm not going to get it. And then I sit there and I pick it all out because I can't help myself. Let's trim these. Yeah, it could be, if you're using, like I said, heavyweight, that's harder to rip out. I think, I used Tearaway Firm, and that was enough stabilizer for me, and it's easier to rip out than the heavyweight. Maybe we should change that in our directions and just say use a medium to lighter Tearaway. And I don't know why. I have no idea why your stitches are coming out. Okay, if you want to, see, I didn't get really close to this one. You can grab it with your tweezers and rip it out a little bit more, but do you really want to do this? I don't know. I go no, but look at me. Here I am tearing it away because I can't help myself from picking. You want to be careful though, and you don't want to grab your felt. I don't know if I can take it. I don't know if I can leave Poppy up there crying. She might have to come down here. It could be a really chaotic sew along. Okay, Love. These are absolutely adorable. I love them. And we are ready for the next step. So after you do that, I think what we're going to do is let's go ahead and let's do our inner border, and then we'll do our outer border. Then we're going to press everything. We might be pressing as we're working along when we have some time where it's going to be doing a lot of stitching. Let's come on back over here to my lovely workstation. She should be napping. We took her on a big old walk this morning. I haven't looked at your messages. I'm cutting it off anyway. No, I read I'm cutting it off anyway. I don't know what that means. What did you read? All right. We're going to do inner borders first. So if you look at the pillow, these are so adorable. I just love them. Your inner border is going to be red right here. And I feel like we should challenge ourselves to try to not buy a quilting design and use what we have, because I know a lot of you are like me and we've bought every single quilting design that's out there. I wanted to do that with this, but the quilting design was too cute. I mean, it had the hearts and it said, "Let me call you Tweetheart." It was like, it just went with it. Uh-oh. Momo is warning me of something. Okay, we're going to grab our 8x12 hoop. Usually when he's doing this, he is really actually talking to me. I might run up there and just check really quickly. Let's go ahead and hoop up. I'm hooping up in my 8x12. Sorry. Hang on 1 second, guys. Okay. What? Mama, hi. Sorry about that. Okay. Let's go ahead and hoop up. Apparently, there's imminent danger outside the house. And that's what Momo was warning me about. Now they're outside barking. Okay. Don't forget, this is up. The little arrows. And right now I have mine set up. So this is up right there. I'm a heel of my hand hooper where I like sometimes will use the heel of my hand and kind of just tap it in. And we're ready to go. These are going to be your pieces. You're going to be using that, and you need your 1-inch batting strips. So I'm noticing for the first time in the cuties that it is 1 1/4 inch batting strips. So we'll save that for the next one that we have. Okay. You're going to have the 6-inch and the 18.5 inch. And then if you have your spreadsheet, the design that we're going to be using for the inner border is going to be, that's flange. This is going to be the border for 1-inch border Valentine. And color is taffy. So if you have the taffy color, that's what it's recommending. Well, it shows a pink, and that's the color that I've been using. So I'm going to go ahead and slide this on my machine. Sorry about that whole dog thing. Let me grab my taffy. Where is it? Is it over here? Oh my god. They're going crazy. Hang on. Here's my taffy, which I don't know if I'm going to love that on the red, so I might use something a little different. I think what I'm going to like instead is maybe that. And this is pink lemonade. So let's go pink lemonade instead. It's a little more pink. He must see your flying squirrels. It's either that or like the UPS guy. Let's go home. Embroidery. Let me call you Tweetheart Quilting. And we are doing border Valentines. Embroidery files. And we're going to be doing this. The 1 by 7 inch. And 1 by 7 inch. Our pieces are, is that all I have is 1 by 7 inch? 7, so 14. So I'm going to have to do actually a couple different hoopings. Let's go in here to, I'm going to come up here to my settings button, edit, and then we're going to go, I'm sorry, settings, hoop size. And let's do 8 by 12. And 14. What I'm really thinking I should do is I should be doing these in my 14-inch hoop, because then I could put 2 of these. I mean, yeah, my 9.5 by 14, because I think I'm only going to be able to fit one of these at a time. All right, we're just doing it because I don't have a 1 by 10 in here. You may have a 1 by 10. So this is Kimberbell has been sharing some designs with the dealers. We used to have to buy everything, and they have been sharing some designs with us so that we can stitch out our samples. And so all that's included in mine is going to be that 1 inch by 7 inch. Let me confirm that. I'm gonna go back in here. Can if you buy the packet, I'm sure if you're buying the packet, then whoops. Do the rest of you have the 1 inch by 10 inch? Yeah, all I have is the 1x7. So do you all have the 1 inch by 10 inch? Because I would load the 1 inch by 10 inch, and then you're just gonna have those 2 hoopings. But this is all I have for me. I'm gonna put it in again. Okay, so I have 2 of them. I'm gonna put one up here, and I'm just gonna have to do mine 3 times. You have it, Rolo, the 1x10? I don't have it, so I'm going to have to go 1x7. And I didn't even think about that. I didn't have that. So move. I'm going to load this one next. And I'm going to have to go 3 hoopings. My dogs are going crazy right now. And then remember, just hit this button here and it just makes a copy. That way you don't have to, and I have a ton of room here, so now I can space them out. I'm just going to space them all out because I'm hooping vertically. I'm going down like this. If I was hooping left to right, then I would scoot them all to one side. But I might as well use up all this space here. I'm just going to space them out evenly. And there we go. This is what I'm going to be doing. You just do 2 hoopings. You're going to do it the same way. Choose the 1x10. Don't do the 1x7. I'm going to have to do my hoopings 3 times. So I'm going to go ahead and say okay. Mine's starting right there. I'm going to go embroidery. You can see it's doing 1 at a time. I'm going to color group. So I'm going to do this button right here. And let's go back to here where it shows me my stitch out. We're going to go ahead and we are going to lay the batting down in the middle. We're going to skip this step, and we are going to start with this step right here, which is placement for the background fabric. That's where I'm going to start. So I'm going to go here where I can go forward and backward stitches. And I'm just going to touch in here in the orange. And then I'm going to fast forward. I just don't want to accidentally touch somewhere here in the blue and not realize it. So now I can tell here I'm right in the blue. I have white in my machine. Since I'm going to be stitching with that pink, I'm going to change it out right now to pink. I wonder, so I only have the 2 inch by 7 inch for the border. So I have no idea how many hoopings I'm going to need. Next time, I will purchase the bundle. You would think they would have given us a different, if they're going to provide us with something, they'd maybe give us 2 choices. They're giving us like just enough to do the project for the, some of the quilting designs. Okay. I'll just leave that up here. Let's go ahead and hit start. While it is stitching my placement lines, I'm going to prep my fabric. Here's my big old scary box. My scary spray box. This is the thing that nightmares are made of. But it's what I love. So first thing I'm going to do is spray the batting pieces to go down the center of my, I should have 4 of these. Do I only have 3? I want 4. And I'm not going to cut it right now. I'm just going to leave it long. And I want to spray the nice side, the less lumpy side. Less lumpy side is going to get sprayed, and I'm going to lay it down the center of my inner border strips. Should have 1 more of these. You want 4 of them. Hang on just a sec. Here's my extra batting. I have like a thing here where it's filled with 2 inch and 1 inch. Because that seems to be the size that we use most of the time. Oh, here it is. For a second, I got scared because I only had 4 of these, or 3 of them. All right. Should go all the way down to about here. Now I'm going to take them and I'm going to lay them down the center of this. And you just eyeball it. Now what that's going to do is it's going to save us those first 2 steps. Not going to have to do them. And I just kept my batting later, like to length. And then we're going to spray them one more time so we can lay them down. Last night when I was doing the pieces for the cuties, I didn't do this. I did the placement stitch for the batting, and then I laid the batting down, and then I did the placement stitch for the fabric, and it just takes more time. And you can achieve the same results this way. But if you're one of those people that wants to do the placement stitch for the batting and then trim it away, do it. I want you to do it. I don't want you to ever feel like, I'm like, this is the better way. You better do it my way. That's not how it works. It's like whatever's going to make you feel most comfortable in your embroidery, I want you to do it. So you might not like it this way. Oh, I'm going to give this a spray too. You're not going to see it because I'm not going to put the camera back, but. And you don't spray the whole thing, just about the 7 inches that you need to lay it down. So, and I'm going to go about 1/4 of an inch above that line. And, you know, you can cut that batting out of the seam if you want. Does make it a little bit bulkier. And this is all we're doing for right now, which is silly for me because I wish I had the 10-inch design. I want to do this 3 times. It's not that big a deal, but why do it 3 times when you can do it 2 times? At 1/4 an inch above. I'm just going to focus on the fact that I'm saving so much time by prepping my fabric like this. So you have the batting down the center. We're just going to lay it down. And now we're going to do the tack down and the quilting stitch. Okay, tack down next. How are we? I have it. How many of the 110s do I need? You're going to do 2 of them because you have 1 inch by 16 and 1 inch by 18, or is it 1 inch by 16 and a half and 1 inch by 18 and a half? I have to now do way more than that. So as this is stitching down, I'm just going to kind of push it down on both sides with my hand. Make sure that it stays in between those lines and make sure that I'm not getting a ton of puckering. And now as it's going up the next side, I'm going to kind of make sure this fabric is staying to the right. And because that fabric, as you stitch, sometimes gets pushed to the left side. So I'm just going to run one hand behind and one hand in front and just make sure that goes over to the side. Now it's going to do this one. Make sure that foot doesn't get scooted underneath. Maybe this is, if you have a 5x7 hoop, you can be doing this. This is basically what I'm doing, is I'm doing what you would be doing in a 5x7 hoop. I'm just doing 4 at a time. tell that didn't catch. Let me go ahead and put my foot up. For some reason, that didn't catch. I'm going to go back to the beginning of this. You're just going to be doing ones, 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 or tens until it goes to the bottom. That's good. There's like a little lock stitch right there. Watching from North Louisiana. I've never been to Louisiana, Miss Brenda. I'd like to come visit sometime. I've never done anything down south. What am I? I'm missing out, aren't I? I did, I was in Memphis, Tennessee once for like a business thing. And then I went to a Janome Elna event. We used to be Janome Elna dealers in Austin. And I've been to Florida because I grew up in Connecticut. And when you're from the East Coast, when you go to Disney, you go to Florida, you don't go to LA. All right, go ahead and just hit start. Now I'm thinking that's too light. Do you think I should go with this? Let me look at their sample. Because that pink almost looks white. Let me call your Tweetheart. Border quilting. Okay, I'm gonna put this in because I'm worried that this pink, even though it's pretty bright, maybe I'm having trouble deciding. I'm having trouble. Okay, I'm gonna do this because it looks so pretty. And then they want your flange with like a light yellow. We're just gonna go for this one. I'm watching the dogs out there. Poppy's a digger, so I have to watch her. There we go. I'm in love with you. Really cute. We don't know how to act when it snows. I love the snow, but we've had a lot of it this year. I think when I rehoop, I'm going to go about 1/4 of an inch above because I don't, well, maybe I don't want these running into each other like this. Well, it's on the bottom, so maybe it'll be fine. We'll play it by ear. I think the light pink was the way to go. We love it in Reno. So Patrick's from Pennsylvania. He's from Central PA, and I'm from Connecticut. So I remember moving out west because, I mean, he and I both met in Colorado. But I remember moving out west and thinking, oh, it's so brown and it's so arid. Like, you know, where are the trees? But you learn to like love and appreciate this landscape too, and the big skies and the like, because we're high alpine desert, and no bugs. I mean, that's really, really nice part about living out here too. No snow. There was no snowshoe in Virginia this year. Too bad we can't ship you some of ours. We got a ton this year, but we needed it too. All right. So because I only have this 7-inch design, I am gonna trim this out. We're gonna rehoop, and we'll do the next ones. I feel like my hoop, like my positioning isn't as good as it used to be for some reason. And my embroidery, my filming arm is exactly where it was before. So I'm going to move these out of the way. Since everything's all nice and taut in here, I'm going to just trim it here. I'm going to keep that batting, everything all together. Before, yesterday's I cut it, and afterwards I was thinking, and I was like, I really didn't have to cut it. I should have just left it the way it was. Oh, they're talking. So you don't want to cut the fold or any of this. Make sure that all stays intact, and I'm just going to cut right across. And I always tell people, don't get greedy. Don't get greedy and feel like you have to get so close. Oh yeah, it's so much easier to cut it here where it's all nice and everything's like all nice and taut. I'll cut these two and then we'll just cut them out. So nice using the little rotary blade sometimes. This morning, Patrick got up with the dogs, and like I stayed in bed, and all I could hear is barking, but it was so joyful. They were just playing and being so cute. I couldn't be mad. And you can use a ruler too. Might be a little bit faster. I just go nice and slow. Something under there? That was my fear. Okay. I'm going to rehoop. We're going to lay these down again. We don't have to put our design back up. We're just going to use it exactly the way it is. And if you are doing the 1x10, you're just going to do one more hooping. Sorry to hold you up if you are doing that. But if you have the if you just have a 5-inch hoop or the 6-inch hoop, then this is kind of nice. Because now you get to see how it's done like that too. All right, let's rehoop. The first time I did one of these, I was so confused. I was like, how do I hoop? I couldn't wrap my head around it. Let's scoop this up. I have to check and see what I have for the Oh So Delightful, right? To see if I have just the 1x7. I'm going to tighten this up. I had fabric in there before. I'm just going to hand tighten it. Hand tighten it, and then you can grab your hoop screwdriver and tighten it a little bit more. If you want to, whoops, that's my head. That's my head. Here's this. This is really for the screw on the machine, but it fits on the hoop on this screw too. It's not the perfect fit you get with the blue handled screwdriver, but who cares, right? For me, I'd rather have like one all-purpose tool that I can use for everything. And since I cut that out, I'm just going to cut these off too. Why drag that all around? They're free. My pieces again. So our design is still up from before. I didn't get rid of it, but I'm going to skip until I get to right here. Now I'm in the blue, which is placement stitch. I'm going to go ahead and stitch that out. While it's stitching that out, let me go ahead and prep my, I'm going to prep my pieces that are going to get laid down. I think they just have to be, let's see. They just need to be re-adhered. I probably sprayed too lightly before. This is why I wouldn't get this pillow done, because I would do this and I go, I don't feel like doing those binding strips. And then it would just get put to the side. But since I scheduled this so long with you, everything's getting done. And I love it. And then what do I get in the end? I get a completed Tweetheart pillow that I can give to Patrick. Be like, Patrick, as a symbol of my love to you, I have this Tweetheart pillow. I feel like I should go get the kids, well, Kai doesn't like candy. Oh yeah, but he likes Jolly Ranchers and, let me see if it's sticky on the hook. I'm going to give it one more shot of spray. Remember, 7 inches, all we get, so we're going to have to do one more little hooping. Here we go. There's our placement stitch. I'm going to lay this down. I'm going to give it a little bit of space. Usually I do it right to where the stitch is, but I'm going to go up a little bit. Probably about 1/8 of an inch or something. And I'll just try and space it equally for all of these. It's going to be gorgeous. How are we doing? I haven't checked messages at all. I mean, we grew up with so much snow too in Connecticut. I don't know. I mean, number one, I've been gone so long. I just don't even know if it snows like that there anymore. I think we all watched the news when they had that horrible storm in Buffalo. And so you thought all of New England got snow like that? I don't know if they did. If you're from back east and you got snow like that this year, let me know. Because I'm curious. Okay, we're going to do the tack down and then we'll do the stitching. Let me go ahead, be mindful, make sure everything is staying where it's supposed to be staying. If you need to stop it, keep your thumb on that start-stop button. Sometimes you're going to see that it doesn't lay down perfectly. Oh, come on, I just need 2 more inches. Then I wouldn't have to rehoop. Whoops. You definitely want to take this fabric and kind of push it to the right. There we go. I never leave the dogs out this long because Poppy will get destructive. And my dogs do like to bark, and I don't want to be that neighbor that leaves barking dogs out. Alright, then go ahead and let it stitch the lettering. I'm just going to hit start. And then we'll go ahead and do one more hooping for this. And then we're going to get ready to do the other ones. The wider borders. Wait, so Cindy, so you're doing one big piece, but how do you get your things, like, so I did it the other way, and, I'm just trying to think, how do you get, I want to know how you do that, because I've done it where, I just rehoop and then I move the placement line and make sure it's under here, but just getting this like perfectly where I can just put these back down again, I wasn't able to do that. Like I had to use my camera and I used my projector, so I could scoot it up and do that, but I just wasn't able to figure that out. You're gonna have to show me, and then we can show the ladies. Because I want to just do that. I want to just do the placement line. And I just want to scoot. Last time we did it, and I just scooted my fabric up, did the placement line, and I did one at a time. Like I just left, because I didn't know about having my fabric perfectly in place. I didn't cut any of it. Ooh, they're out there being really naughty. I always tell myself a bored dog is a bad dog. My dogs right now are bored. Although they should be sleeping. What time is it? My kids will be home in an hour. So you just took the picture and then moved it on top. And look at me. I don't even know if I have to rehoop. So my issue is I won't have enough room. So you know what? Let's try it. I'm going to just scoot them up. Let's scoot it up. Let's not trim it. I'm just going to scoot it up. And what I did is I did one at a time when I did that. Because it is a pain. It's a pain to have to trim it out. That's what I don't like doing. So let's scoot her up. Because we want to do things that are going to be quick and efficient. That's like our goal here. We don't want to do things that are going to take a lot of time. Okay, let's see how we do here. So what I do have to do is I'm going to have to respray some of this. So I wonder if I'm far enough down. That I'm not sure about. I think I'm far enough down. But I think I can only do one at a time. That looks a little bit close to the edge. Are we doing it like this, Cindy? 10.5 by 16 inch hoop. Yes, 10.5 by 16 would be great if I was using like the bigger patterns, like the 1 inch by 12 inch or the 1 inch by 4 inch. Wouldn't that be great? But unfortunately, I only have the 1 inch by 7 inch, so I'm going to make do with that. All right. Well, let's see what we can do with this. I don't know if this is going to fit perfectly, but I guess I can make it fit. Let's make it fit. So I'm going to go ahead and say, okay, Lynn was asking me about using the projector. This is a perfect time to use the projector. So I'm going to say, okay, and you have to be at stitch 0 in order to use the projector. I'm going to say okay to this, and I'm just going to project down the stitch. Because if you have the feature, why not use it, right? So I might have to adjust. And look, your projector's only going to be about 3 inches by 5 inches. It's always going to come in right in the center. You move the projector with your finger. So I'm going to move it up to the top. And I would have to scoot this over quite a bit. And I don't have much room. You know what I could do, though? All right. Sometimes I say, I'm the boss. There we go. I'm the boss. And I just scooted it over. So that should make all of these kind of work. Unless this fabric is super snug. There you go. I'm the boss lady. I'm going to scoot that design down a little bit. But here we go. Another way we can be faster. And like, Cindy, I'm glad you suggested it, because why not use that feature? And now we have the projector too. So I guess the hardest part is if your fabric is like really way off. But for me, I'm able to kind of scoot it around a little bit. So this is how we'll use it for positioning. That's going to save us way more time than having to trim it out. Who wants to trim it out? It's pain in the behind, right? Now, my lettering is a little bit close up here, so I'm just going to scoot it down a little bit. So once you move the projector with your finger, like this, you move it around with your finger, you move the actual design with your move arrow. So I'm just going to scoot it down the tiniest bit. I'm going to go back here and see how it looks. So this will end, and then I'll start right there. I'm going to move it down a little bit more. Perfect. Just like that. That looks cute. I'm going to use my start stop because there's no sense in having it stitch all the way down here. And this looks like we're pretty good. Let me check the placement on these. That looks great. Everything is like within the little placement lines. So I'm going to go ahead and say okay. We're going to skip the first set of stitches, this and this. We're going to go here to the I got to touch that. And then we'll go back here. I'm going to go forward. Let's go back and make sure I didn't go too far. That's orange. That is turquoise. We're going to do the placement stitch. I'm just going to do it to like right past here, and then I'm going to stop it. Whoops. That should be my tack down. That should be my tack down. Oh no, that's not my tack down. That's my placement. I'm going to go, I have to go one more. So So batting placement, batting tack down, fabric placement, which we placed, and then the tack down. So let's go to the beginning of the orange. I'm still in the turquoise. So always check this just to make sure you're doing what you want to be doing. And keep your finger on your start stop because we're going to stop it when it gets to the end. I'm going to cut my thread. I'm going to fast forward through. Let's go, what do you think, 100? Whoop, that was way too far. That was 100. I'm going to go minus, that was plus 100. Let's go plus 10s. Okay, perfect. I haven't read any messages. Oops. Did you see he got folded back? That's okay. Looks like he's okay. Okay, I haven't read messages. Let me see. I'll take pictures. Oh, yeah! This was using my big hoop. I'll post a picture of what I'm doing. I didn't cut the fabric in strips. I left it in one big. I'll post pictures to Facebook unless another way. I didn't take a picture, so I just used my projector then. So what I love is there's just more than one way to do this. So you can kind of choose. But I would love to see how you did it too, because maybe that's going to be even easier than what I just did. I'm going to stop it. I'm going to cut it. And let's move it over. I'm hitting plus 10s on my screen. And when I say that, I mean this screen right here. If you don't know how to get there, it's through this button. And then you can go plus 1, plus 10s, plus 100. So you can also see your cursor right here. Now I'm on the other side, but I need to go up. So I'm doing my plus 10s. And now I look like maybe I'm 5 away or something. So I'm going to hit go by 1s, and that looks good. Be careful that it doesn't push your fabric back. My fabric's probably over a little bit, but that's okay. Now it's going to go over here. I don't know. What'd you think of that? Was that okay? That wasn't that bad. I think what that taught me was maybe I wouldn't scoot my design all the way over to the edge. Whoops. I'm going to cut. Hit my cut button. I'm going to hit plus 10s on my screen. Good afternoon, Miss Cindy West. Okay. Because I don't like having to cut the fabric out. You know what I mean? Trimming it all back and doing all of that. I find that tedious, tiresome. Okay, get ready to stop it once it goes off. Hit your cut button. And then let's go plus 10s. And watch that foot, that it doesn't push your fabric back, and scoot it. Woo. Let's get this over. Did you see how it kind of pushed it here? So you just want to make sure it stays over there. Okay, now we have to do the embroidery. This is going to be the quilting. So just watch when it gets off the fabric, and you're just going to stop, cut, and then we'll fast forward. My finger's sitting here on my start stop button. And I'm going to cut. And I'm going to hit my plus 10s. Maybe I should hit a plus 100. Yep. And you can see what's going on right here. I'm at the very bottom of that, so I'll just hit my pluses, and then I bounced up there. I'm going to go ahead and hit start again. get ready to hit your start stop button. And I'm going to hit my cut. And if you look here on the screen, my cursor's right there. I'm going to hit a plus 100. We're all the way down at the bottom. Now we'll go plus 10s. And then I'm going to go plus 1. And wait for it to bounce up to the top of the next one. There we go. Let's start stitching. And then get ready to hit your start stop. Cut. Don't start moving it without cutting it, or it's going to drag all your fabric around or your thread around. So we're all the way here. I'm going to hit plus 100. Bounce me to here. I'm going to hit plus 100 again. And now let's go by 10s. And I'm going to go by 1s. It's my locking stitch. And last one. That is way easier than trimming it out. But you've got to have a camera or a projector to really make it work. Or darn good hooping skills and a little bit of luck. And I'm just going to hit cut and we are done with these. Yay! All right, now it's time. So should we go for it and try and do that with our bigger pieces? These are done and they were worth it because they're so cute. And I love anything that has stitched writing. That to me is like so awesome. I'm going to cut this because we can use this later. Here's my bag of extra batting. Let's pop it out. And I think that looks pretty darn good. So it came out great. All right, we're going to go ahead and put this to the side. Let's go ahead and let's get hooped up for the outer borders. Uh-oh. Oh, no. All right. The dogs took a flower pot off of the patio. They dumped the plant out of it, and now they're ripping up the plastic pot. So I'm going to take a short break to bring them in because they obviously can't be trusted. Let's hoop this up. What am I going to do about it now? They are doing what's called creating their own fun. Oh my goodness. Okay, 10.5 by 10.5. Where are you? Oh my God. You know what's going to happen if I leave them? They're going to go get the next pot. So I cut this 15 inches. If you're doing the 10.5 by 10.5 inch hoop, it sounds like fun for them, right? Doesn't that sound like a good time? Oh, I had one piece left over from before that I wanted to use. I had taken all of my pieces and kind of folded them up. And there was a 10.5 by 10.5 inch piece, this one. So let's use this first. Because the last thing you want is like 10 million pieces of muslin around your room that you don't know what they're for. Yes, they're just being... Exactly. I mean, that's what I would be doing, right? Sounds like fun. Let's go dump some pots and rip it up. Okay. Here's your little lever. It should be nice and snug like that. Things I really like about this hoop is I like that rubber right there because it lets you have like a nice grip. I think we're good. Let's go ahead and put this on the machine. I get a good laugh. Oh, the smoother texture. I'm doing that. So after I do this, I'm going to film that mug rug. And so I'm going to see how that, I think we've used Hungry Hippie leather products before, and they've been great for embroidery. So I'm going to stitch that out. So I'll have a sample tomorrow of the mug rug with, I know, we're calling it textured. With the textured, because I called somebody and I was like, do you want the bumpy? Do you want the bumpy leather or the smooth leather? And then afterwards I thought, oh, that just sounds bad. You know what? I am actually, I'm going to take this out because I want to use that one piece because I'm just going to hoop all the way down the whole thing. So I am going to use this. Sorry about that. That's okay. It's just a little lesson in hooping. And I did cut this one, so that other piece was cut 15.5 inches because I was like, well, is 15 inches enough? And I think it's going to be plenty. God, I got to go get those dogs. They can't be left out there. And I think Poppy's the bad influence. She is not Momo. Momo's kind of a goody-goody. And what I'm learning here is he's kind of a goody-goody. He doesn't take food off of the table when you're not looking like she does. He's kind of a rule follower. Like when we go to change to a, okay. So if you ever get this message, I just put on my 10.5 by 10.5 inch sheet. It says change to a larger embroidery frame because I don't have the length or the from top to bottom. Just pull it out, pull this down a little bit. Your machine will be fooled and it will think you have a different hoop in there. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to go here. And I'm going to go embroidery, pocket. Let's see the design that we need. It might be doggy iPad time. I got them new shoes, so we might get those out. And we are whoops, that's cuties. The flange. We want border Valentine, the four of the 2 inches. And again, I only have the itty bitties. Border. 7 inches. That's not gonna be enough. Oh, okay. Let's see how many we can fit in here. Because these are wider. Let's choose our hoop size. After this, I might take just a minute break just to bring the dogs in. Here we go. 10.5 by 10.5. I know it says 10 5/8, but that's what we call the 10.5 by 10.5. It's easier to say. So we're going to go edit, make a copy. Move it with your arrows so you're not dragging everything around. And you only have a little bit of space in between, but it's enough. Okay, make a copy. Move. And we'll do one more. Now we're going to work on spacing everything. Let's give everything an equal amount of room if we can. And I think that looks good. That looks good. Go ahead and say okay. If you have the full suite of quilting designs, I put your biggest one in. These flange pieces are the flanges. Your biggest one's 21.5 inches, which means for me, I'm going to have to do the tiniest little bit because 22 divided by 7 is going to be 21. So I'm probably going to leave a little bit of space here so I can fit my 7, 7, 7. And then because I'm 1.5 inches short, so I'll have like a 1/2 inch on either end and maybe a little bit in between. This one right here, that's going to be 3 anyways. So it looks like we're looking at 3, but you're going to have to be mindful about how you lay this down if you're using the small one like I am. If you are using the 10 inch, 10 inch is going to be perfect for this. If you want to do this one, you could do 12 inch, but not in this hoop. So even if I was doing the 10-inch ones, maybe what I would leave is I'd leave a little room on the ends, and maybe there just wouldn't be stitching all the way to the end. I would try to just fit it in 2 hoopings of the 10-inch. Just a thought. Okay, embroidery. Let's go ahead and we are going to, let's go layout. Let's color group. And then we are going to skip these first 2 steps, and we're going to start with the placement stitch for the background again. So you have to go down here to do that. And then it'll allow you to touch in here. And there I am with my turquoise. Everyone good? They're recommending yellow for this. You can do whatever color you want. I'm just going to do the yellow. I think it'll be pretty. And I'm using corn flour. Where is Patrick? Patrick is... I told Patrick yesterday, I go, you know what? On the weekends, you do whatever you want. And then I have to watch the dogs. So I'm going to tell you right now, you get Sunday or Monday, but not both days. Sometimes I have to put my foot down with him because he is addicted to working out. And which is great, right? Like, there are way worse things that could happen. But if he doesn't get his like workout on, then he is he's not happy. So, and I'm fine with it. And I don't mind watching the dogs. And everything I want to do is here anyways at the house. I'm a homebody. But so he's out with one of his little athletic boys, and they are climbing a mountain, and I don't know, they're doing some kind of tour. Okay, I'm gonna go grab the dogs while it's stitching this. I'll be right back. the neighbor's feeding them over the fence right now. I'll leave them. They're fine. So cute. Grabbing my 2-inch strips. Although this looks so much bigger. Let me just make sure. Nope. It's perfect. We have like the best neighbors here. They're so sweet. If you've ever had a bad neighbor, you can really appreciate that. But we've gotten really lucky here, and all our neighbors, they're all wonderful. Like the type of neighbor that will, you know, shovel your mailbox out like they did for us. Okay, here's some. Let me go ahead, and you want to spray on the nice side. Mine are all trimmed already. Okay, we'll just use them. And then I'll just and I don't care if they like are totally a butt. I'll just like lay them down. That looks wider. Okay. I'm going to go spray these down first. I'm the one. Oh, sorry. You know why, Celinda? I don't know why I messed that up. Sometimes I get you mixed up with Sue Riley. Yes, you're right. I'm so sorry about that. Okay, lay these down. You're going to go right down the center. If there's any dark threads, get those. And remember, yours are going to be pink. I'm just doing the aqua right now. And this makes me go, do I have these cut the right length? Because I feel like they're a little bit skinny. Aren't they? 2.5. So 1/4 inch on each side. That's it. Okay, what is this piece here? Let me see. I hate getting people's names wrong. I apologize. And remember, I love my mat because it's like sticky from being sprayed on so much, and you can't just get one like that. You have to work for that. This is years of spraying to have a incredible spray box like mine. Okay, we're going to go ahead and lay this down. I'm going to give this a shot of spray so I can lay it down. Don't mess up their playtime. That was just funny to me. I didn't know my neighbor gave them treats, which I'm totally fine with. They are like the sweetest people. And Momo barks at us when we get home, but he barks at them too. But he wags his tail. Partners in crime. I'm going to put this a little bit above. I'm going to do 2 of them a little bit above. And then the other one like a 1/2 inch above. But I got to make sure I have which strips I have. It's the short one. This is a short one. So I'm going to put this one's a long one. So I'm going to put this about 1/2 inch above. Because remember, we have to compensate for... We have to compensate for the... I gotta get them. Okay, that's long. This one's long. 1/2 inch. And I think my strips were cut wide. I'm going to go 1/2 inch above with these. I might have to trim these down. I had, during the sew-along, I had one of the gals cut these for me, and I think they got cut a little bit wide. All right. We are going to take, I'm going to put these down, and we're going to take a little bit of a break so I can ring. You can get a snack or do whatever you want, but I need to rein in my mangy mutts. And I might have to trim these down later. They just look a little bit wide. So that you know. All right. We're going to do the side stitching to tack it down. I'm going to do that on all of these. And then while it's doing the quilting, I'm going to take a little bit of a break and go grab those dogs. I'm going to push that out to the side. How are you doing on time? It's, what, 12:05, I think? My dogs are out there being really annoying right now. They're, like, enjoying themselves. They're having a bark fest. neighbor raises my blood pressure, which I'm being a bad neighbor right now. Oh, these hearts are cute. I feel like with the Rolo, was the writing on yours the 1" by 10" bigger? Because I thought it said, let me call you Tweetheart on the one that we have in the store that Dana did. Does it have different writing on the longer ones? Okay, I'm going to hit the start button and let it do the quilting. Hi, Miss Ginger. And that is going to be probably about 3 or 4 minutes of stitching. I'm not going to be here looking at my messages. I'm going to go grab those knots. Oh, it looks so cute. Looks adorable. There is someone... I don't even know what a Tibetan Mastiff is, but it sounds big. Do it. Get that puppy. They just, I don't know. I feel like my life is better for it. It is definitely more work and less time for me on top of everything else, but I'm going to be an empty nester next year, and I have a feeling it's going to get me through. Okay, we are going to, just because I think it did save time, I am going to leave this in a strip, and I'm just going to lay down. So you said you took a picture. So I'm wondering if I'm wondering how you did that. Miss Cindy. Was it Cindy that said she was doing that? Cindy Lehman? I'm going to have to look and see how you did that. I'm going to go ahead and I'll just use my camera again and see how we do with that. we'll just leave it. We'll just make the best of it. Hoping it'll save us some time. Alright, so I'm going to take this off and rehoop. And I'm going to be very mindful of how much space is on either side. And then I'll use my camera. Or my projector. Just to make sure everything's kind of in the right spot. I might have to add some more batting too. So I didn't fill up the whole hoop. This is where it starts. I'm we'll focus on being about 2 inches away from the top. Because that's what, 1.5 inches maybe? So I'm going to pop this out. If you are doing it the traditional way, you're going to have to do what we did before. And you're going to have to trim them out, lay them down, and do all of that. But we're going to just scoot it up. I don't know if it saves time with me having to, you know, hit the start, stop, fast forward. That's the thing that I think takes time. So here I want to be about 2 inches down just to make sure I can fit all of that. And it looked like I had about 1/2 inch on either side. That looks good. Let me get my... see how we're doing here. Yep, we're a little close over here. So before I cinch it, because my lever is still up, I'm going to go ahead and scoot it over there a little bit more. And then we'll put it down. Okay. I think I'm going to have to spray these. I don't have my spray box. I'm just going to kind of spray this. How are we going to do this? Lay this in here so I don't make a big old mess. There we go. That's perfect. And look, we push it down and it holds it right here because all the years of spray adhesive that I've used. 7 inches. Fold this back, and I think I'm going to have to add some stable batting. Look at my pieces aren't even like straight here, so let's go ahead. I'll just piece it together. I'll just take another piece of batting and just like I said, I'll just abut it. But you have to be aware, I'm not washing these. These are like decorative. They're going to get put out, taken out, and then put away unless, I don't know, unless I have grandkids someday and one of them throws up on it. These aren't going to be like something that's going to get washed. If you're going to wash it, I think you're going to have to be more mindful, right? Of just making sure that you work with one piece. That you're not just like piecing your batting together. Because that stuff can shrink. And I don't pre-wash anything at this point. I used to pre-wash everything. It was like part of my ritual. It was part of what I did. Oh, awesome. Thank you. Am I totally doing this the hard way then? I must be doing it the hard way. I'm just going to go ahead and put my batting down the rest of it. I think I have to approve it, but I can't wait to see it. Right, we are going to check out, whoops, that is not 2 inches. What is that? That's like 2.5 inches. Let me trim these down really quickly. All right, I think I'm ready. Probably wash by hand. Huge and a lot of hair. This is someone local trying. All right, I'm going to go ahead and spray this, and then I'm going to lay these down again. 7 inches is all we're doing right now. I'm going to just run this right down here, hopefully. And we can play with it as we go, too. I can lift it up and make sure that it fits in the lines. These were all pretty close, though. I'm not going to press down too hard. I don't want to be too committed to this in case it doesn't fit inside the line. Oop, that one's probably going to be over quite a bit. Oh my goodness. The baby is crying. Okay, let me go ahead and slide this on. The last Monday, I just put the baby in the crate. We just left her there. It was fine. I might go up and crate her. All right, we're going to project. Remember, you have to be on stitch 0 to project, which I'm at. We're going to say okay to that. I'm going to go okay here, and let's turn on the projector. Let's go all the way up to the top. Remember, move the projector with your finger. And I think my pieces were just cut a little bit too wide, but I'm gonna check this one here and here. This is in there. Oh yeah, those are really wide, but that's okay. I'm going to go ahead. I don't know why it doesn't let me go all the way out. That is my... I think that's going to be fine. I want to bring it down a little bit. So I'm going to bring my design down. Whoops! You guys aren't seeing any of that. Sorry about that. There we go. There's my heart. Okay, let me go ahead and check over here. I'm going to check this one. That looks good. Check this one. I'm just checking to see if it's equidistant, and that's like right in the middle. And I will have to trim these down a little bit, but that's right in the middle too. I think we're good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and say okay. I'm going to fast forward to not the placement stitch, but the tack down right here. This is my tack down. Let me go back and back again. There's turquoise. I want orange. Okay, we're going to do tack down and quilting. That didn't catch, but it's okay. It finally caught. Seems like this is way over. Let me move it over a little bit. Okay. And like I said, I'm going to trim these down. see that? I have a big little fuzz ball there. I'm going to go ahead and hit my cut. Oh, man. Hang on. Are you there? There we go. Let's get rid of that. And you get these sometimes. The needle might just nick it in just like, not the perfect way, but it might just nick it. Ooh, let's get him out of there. I'm not sure where that is coming from. I'm going to cut that off. And rethread. Or, you know, sometimes with these flange strips, they have the tack down. Not the tack down, but the tack down stitch is a 1/4 inch in. And that could be the case for this. That's how it is on like the cuties, the inner border. I'm gonna go back. Let me go back. Cindy, I can't wait to see how you did it. Because anything that'll make it easier, we don't have to trim those out and cut them. And you use the camera, more people are going to have the camera than the projector. How many of these do you think we need? When you say how many of these, I'm not sure what these are. These that I'm doing right now, you just have to do the 18.5 inches or 22.5 inches, whatever it says to do. Oh, and you know what I didn't do? I didn't space this one out. So I have to pay attention to that with the next one. I'm pretty sure I'll just be able to do the next 7 inches. Go ahead and let it stitch. Here's my my March cuties, which I finished last night, and I really think that it would have been cuter with the Make-A-Wish, like the yellow flowered fabric. Let me see if I have it on the back here. No, I don't. This is the back. which I love. I just did a scrappy back. And I just used up all my like little pieces that I had left over. And then I had some random ones. Anything that kind of went. And then I did the blanket stitch. So I just did a variegated, it was green and yellow. And I thought it was so cute. And it was coming out great. And then I don't know what happened. I'll have to show you the corner that like. But everything looked so cute. And then, this is so, I shouldn't even show you this, but look at it. I don't know what happened there. That's what makes it so perfectly me. That it's so not perfect. Because it was going really, really well. I looked at that last night and I just started cracking up. But I thought this one was super fun. I didn't finish roughing up my, where's my chenille brush? I'm looking at it right now thinking, oh, I didn't finish chenilling my beard. You gotta get a chenille brush if you're gonna do Kimberbell stuff. Because it just does such a good job. Okay, this is post-chenille, and this is pre-chenille. Doesn't that just look cute? I love it. I love everything chenille. And it's so much easier to do this than a file. And the first time I chenilled something, I literally I did this with my fingernails. That was my chenille brush. That's how fancy I was. And these are just worth it. It's like a hard bristle brush. And it's so cute. This was a really, really, really fun one. Although they've all been super, super fun. Okay. I want to watch your video right now. What is wrong with it? Ah! Oh my, Cindy, did you see? It was, it looked like a serpentine blanket stitch. Which I don't even know if there is such a thing. But that is what I achieved with that blanket stitch on that one section. All right, Kate, I'm going to rehoop. This is going to be our last hooping, and then we're done with these. I'm not going to go past the, so I don't know if we're going to be able to, stitch this all together. What we are going to do, though, is I will finish it up and I will record it. I'm going to go ahead and scoot that up. You don't even have to go all the way. We'll do this last hooping. Let's get about 1/2 inch on the right side and the left side. That looks pretty good. Go ahead and cinch that. Just trying to piece it together. I know. It wasn't horrible, but it wasn't good. Okay. Finding that. Need to be a little closer over here. I think we're just going to go with it like this and see how we do. We might be a little far off here. Okay. I'm hooped. I'm going to use my projector. Just place it. Anything to not have to trim it out and do all those placement lines. And like I said, I cannot wait to see Cindy's video. We'll post it. Isn't it nice working with a community of gals that have great ideas? And we can share them with each other. 7 inches, I think I have enough room. I think I scooted it down enough. So I'm going to just say, okay. We're going to go in here. We're back to stitch 0 again. So I'm going to go to my projector. We're going to move the projector around just to make sure it is. Okay. Kind of want to make sure we're right in the lines here. And then I'm going to scoot it down to the bottom to make sure it stays in the line. So that looks good down in the bottom right here. Let's look at these. That's right in the middle. And that's pretty good too. Okay, I think that's good. I'm okay with good enough right now. So I'm going to go ahead and we got to make sure it's not too far up though. So let's go here. So you can see our designs overlapping. I'm going to totally scoot this down. And there we go. Now there's my heart and there's my bird, and I'm okay with it being a little bit further down because we want to make sure. Oh, look, we can scoot it up a little bit because we have some room. Actually, yeah, there's a selvage on here which I need to take into account. I would have normally have cut that selvage off and just made sure it wasn't part of the pattern that was my piece that was cut. So I'm just going to go with it like this. There's a little bit of room in between. All right, let's stitch. We are going to skip. We're going to skip this and this and this, and we're going to go right to our, there's turquoise, go forward, there's orange. That's tacked down. Let's go ahead and tack it down. Bye, Miss Cindy. We'll be live feeding tomorrow. How many borders do you need? So you're just going to have, and I'm going to go ahead and cut just because I don't need it to sew down the edge. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward, although this is probably takes more time. And while I'm hitting the +10, I'm going to look over here, or I'm going to look at the hash marks on my, and you've got to be careful here that that foot doesn't scoop, which it didn't. I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm not going to flash back to the other screen. I'm just going to hit stop, cut, and then I'll hit +10, +10, +10. Stop, cut. And then I don't have to worry about it kind of scooting underneath the batting, going underneath it. This one's. Got a little bubble there, but that'll be okay once we press it out. All right, let's go ahead and do the quilting stitch. And I'm going to watch this too. And I'll stop it and start it when I need to, which is mostly going to be for the right two pieces. I love hashtags. Yes, this is hashtag Stitchin' Buddies. And whatever you want to come stitch, you're welcome to come stitch. the yellow because it looks sweet. Oh my God, Cindy, thank you so much. And is that what you're doing for all of your border pieces and your inner border pieces? And I'm sure it's probably much easier than what I was doing right now with my projector. And probably more precise. That makes sense that this is 2.5 inches. So we would have a nice big 1/4 inch on each side. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and when it gets down to here, I'm gonna stop it, cut the thread, and then I will, because what it's doing is it's doing a pass going down and then a pass going up. Okay, let's go ahead and cut. I'm going to hit +10s, although it probably, let me hit a +100. See where we go. Oh, so I did 2 +100s. And then I'll start it again. Make sure that that doesn't scoop. Same thing over here. I'm going to let it stitch. Once it goes off the fabric, I'll stop it, cut the thread. I'm going to cut. I'm going to hit +100 twice. And then +10, +10, +10. I hit +10 3 times. And I want to make sure the foot doesn't scoop the fabric back if we're good. All right, let's heat up our iron. We're going to do some trimming now. So we have some time. Sounds like the dogs are napping. Heat up your iron. Let's make it gorgeous. Heat up your iron. It's gonna be beautiful. Whoop. There we go. Try that again. 1, 2, 3. We are done with the embroidery. Is that amazing? Like, I think we did a great job getting this project done. And if you haven't started it with us, do it at some point. Tomorrow is Valentine's Day, but who cares? You don't have to be in season. But what you should do is definitely commit to stitching, if you haven't, Oh So Delightful with us. And I really want you, gals and gents, to get good at just saying, I love it, I'm going to do it. I don't love it, I'm not going to do it. And don't feel like you have to get every project. Kimberbell will bankrupt you. There's just so much. And the quilting designs and the embroidery designs and everything can make it really, really pricey. So do the projects that speak to you. And if you're not sure, you can always watch the sew-alongs. I can't remember, was it Cheryl who watches the sew-alongs and then decide. Because then you can see the projects, you can watch it stitched out, and you can go, oh, that looks like that's going to be a ton of fun. So normally I wouldn't have included this in it. So hopefully I'll just have to pay attention to that. So I don't know if that was included in the cut, like the length of the fabric. So I'm just going to cut these right now. So I'm not going to cut that off yet in case that was part of it. All right, let's go ahead and trim these out. Use your ruler if you need to. I love ripping muslin. It's like kind of, well, ripping fabric in general is kind of satisfying. But muslin's just like so nice and it tears so. So these were supposed to be 2.5 inches wide. And yeah, that's 2.5 inches. Hopefully I can just go right down the middle of those other ones and they'll be perfect. And if, like I said, if you don't have a steady hand, definitely just do this with a ruler. Okay, there we go. Is that just so cute with the little birds and the hearts? Love it. And I might have like 1/8 of an inch longer, one direction or the other. I'm not worried about it. But when we stitch this in, you're going to have to pay attention to that stitch and just make sure you're going to have to see if it shows or not. And if it's showing, you're going to want to remove that stitch, meaning this stitch right here, the basting stitch, you're going to want to remove that. Okay, these are trimmed down. This should have been 22.5 inches. I need that. But I'm going to be mindful when I sew this side. And I'm mindful of that. And I'll probably sew in a little further here. And then maybe this will only be 1/8 of an inch. So in the future, don't include that selvage. I normally don't include that. You kind of need that. I mean, that's going to take up a lot of room. That's like 1/2 inch. And I really need to sew right to the side of that. So this side, I might be sewing in the tiniest amount. All right. We're going to trim these out. Let's just trim everything. Actually, you know what? I am going to trim these and then I'll press them. The other squares I'm going to press and then I'm going to trim. So, I mean, sometimes I do it the other way. Sometimes I press these all. But I'm just going to go ahead and trim them all. And then don't get fold, greedy. I don't know why I laid them down like this. I did. These are smaller. Maybe I'll just take my little ruler. Dogs are licking their bowls. They're hungry. Or at least Poppy is. So, you know, Kai and I are the only ones in the house that like junky food. Violet and Patrick treat their bodies like temples. But I was thinking maybe Kai and I could have a Mac attack today. And then he and I, we get rid of the evidence. Like we don't throw it in the main trash can in the house. We throw it in the outside trash can, and then nobody knows. Sorry. These are the cutest. Are those just adorable? Oh my goodness. I'm excited. I'm excited to see my pillow with the aqua instead of the pink. Although, you know, I love the pink. I love the pink. And maybe the aqua won't even look great. I can't wait to see Irene's, because Irene has the lavender. And I think the lavender is going to be so cute too. Okay, my iron is heating up. I'm going to move this out of the way. If you're doing some serious ironing with some moisture, make sure you move that mat. My wool mat sits on top of my cutting mat most of the time. But if you look at my cutting mat, you're going to see it's a little bit warped because I have left it there to press out these squares. So you get the side angle. I hope that's okay. When I do these, I press from the back side. You don't have to. You want some moisture. So right now, all I have in here is water. I prefer to do best press because everything's just crisp and it just holds it in place. I have 2 drops of best press left because I did not plan ahead. And it's up to you. If you have something directional, press in the direction. Like I feel like my quilting stitches are semi-directional, so I'm going to press up and down. Not this bottom filler block doesn't really make a difference, but it really is that other one. And you just want to press until it's dry. So this one, I'm going to go up and down first. And you just want it to lay flat before we cut it. You're all stitch buddies. Did it make sense? I haven't seen it. And if you posted it to our Facebook, Cindy, then I have to approve it first. So I will, I'm sure it'll make sense. I'm sure you did an amazing job showing us what you do to make it easier and not have to go through all those hoopings and trimming everything down in different pieces and doing it all in one piece. I don't see it. Makes me want to put something in it. Oh, the filler block, that is where your pennant's going to go on top of this. So you're going to be seeing that. So these are nice and flat now. They're ready to trim. I'm going to go ahead and put that to the side. Let me grab these. And let's cut these apart. Whoops. Look at my letters are going all over the place. When you cut these apart, do it from the back side so you can see where the lines are. And just go down the middle of the line. And I try not to cut that backing piece too much. And you can go pretty close to the line. That line, don't go right to it because you might need, I'd leave at least a 1/4 inch around it. Like these are really close. These are 1/2 inch apart. Oh, my babies are crying. And if you have any tape on there, like I do here, get that off before you press. I don't think I have any there. My son, well, he got something the other day, and I was like, use mommy's credit card. Like, it was on our Amazon account. You know what it was? I bought him I bought him for Christmas. I bought him a back scrubber, and so I was like, oh well, we'll just get a hook and you can just hang it up. And so what is it? It is February, right? And he goes, we still haven't gotten the hook. I go, just pick one out. Pick one out, and so he picked one out, and then he also picked out, I think he needed some kind of cables for something. And he, like, I'll buy that kind of stuff for him. My kids are not big spenders. They are very, like, they're super, I don't know where they got it from, because I, as a kid, like, if you had told me I could just use, my parents had been like, oh, just use my credit card, I would have been shopping like crazy, because I love clothing, and I always have. But my kids don't spend like that, so... And he will go out to eat, and he uses his own money. He doesn't go out to eat often. He's gone out, like, this year, maybe, like probably a handful of times, whereas his friends go out, like, every day. He doesn't do that. He comes home and eats. So I always tell him, you know, we'll pay for that kind of stuff, but he doesn't take us up on that. My daughter, on the other hand, although she's not a big spender either, will definitely like use our money. And I don't know what my point of telling you that was. Oh, because I was thinking about our Mac attack. I need to call him, and I need to tell him to go get us our... And don't tell Patrick. He doesn't need to know. But I need to call him before he gets home. I need to say, hey, and go ahead and use Mommy's card. Okay. Let me grab my rotating mat, and we'll cut just a couple of these. Now, you have some options. If you look in the directions, they wanted you to nest the rulers. However, I think that's kind of silly, because, well, it depends on what rulers you have. Okay, hang on just a second. Yes. Poppy wanted some mommy company. She's down here right now. Here we go. So we have my ruler here. This is one of my favorite rulers. This is Creative Grids 4.5 by 18.5, and I absolutely love it. So when we cut these down, all the trees are being cut down to final cut size. And I think it's in the spreadsheet too, but they want you to nest all 3 of your rectangular rulers, cut, then remove them, and then you're going to cut side, and then you'll connect the lines, you'll extend those. But they gave you a little centering mark, and you know that you're going to be 4.5 by 10.5. So we can just go to our centering mark here, 10.5. Center mark is going to be 5.25, right? So if we put that 5.25 here, and I'm going to be able to cut 3 sides, and then I'll have to trim this side down. I think that's just going to be way easier and way faster. However, if you don't have a 4.5 by 18.5 inch ruler, consider getting one. And then just use your pop rulers, or you can use any ruler that you have. This is another one of my favorites. This is 6.5 by 12.5. And I just like it because it gives you a lot of width, and then the 12.5 is nice to handle. But I'm just going to go here. Here's my 5.25. There's my center mark, and you have them here on both sides. And then I'm just going to frame this. My ruler is going to go a little bit probably outside of that. Actually, it's pretty much spot on. So there's my 5.25 both ways. I know my ruler's upside down. And I am going to just make sure that I did mine in green. Looks pretty good. I'm just going to cut. When you cut with this ruler, it's abrasive, like on the underside. Hold it down right on the corner so it doesn't push your fabric. Gonna rotate, hold everything down. Gonna rotate. Cut all the way up. There we go. Easy peasy. Now I'm gonna come in here from 10.5 inches, and I'm just gonna cut off that one side. So you do not have to use the pop rulers for this. There's times where I feel like you're framing stuff and the pop rulers are the way to go because you can like fussy cut. In these situations though, just use your other ruler. Is that like perfection? Love it. Okay, that's how you're going to go ahead and cut all of these. The other ones are framed out. You also have the 6.5 inch. This one, I think it's going to be 6.5 by 10.5. I mean, look at this ruler right here. It's 6.5. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'll cut 3 sides and then I'll cut the other side down. Sorry, dog's here. Take him upstairs, please. Kai just got home. Kai, what do you think about a Mac attack?
Sure.
Did you hear that? Kai's down. Can you shut the door behind you?
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm going to keep trimming since my child has come home and he's going to take the dogs upstairs. Let's go ahead and trim them all. And we'll go a little... Oh, yeah, we still have time, too. We have, like, legit time in our sew-along. I'm going to trim all of these. These are all of my, these that are going to get stacked. Oh, they're so cute. Okay, again, here's my... Now I have it in the right direction for you to view. So we're going to go 5.5. There's my center mark there. Center mark. Actually, it's 5 1/4. Let's look at our instructions one more time just to make sure I'm not having you trim these to the wrong size. That would be the worst. Yeah, 4.5 by 10.5. 4.5 by 10.5. 4.5 by 10.5. So half of 10.5 is 5 1/4. I'm going to get both of those marks on there. Did you hear Kai? He was like, sure. I mean, God, I'm so excited. There we go. We'll go all the way up. Oop. Turn. Oh, my ruler's hitting and it moved it. Okay. It is a big one. So now I'm going to have to reposition and be mindful of that. 5 1/4, 5 1/4. Let me check the very top. Make sure we're lined up. And that looks good. Okay, I'm going to have to be careful when I swing it. Do I have enough room? I do! Okay, looks good. All right. Now we're just going to come in this way, 10.5 inches. And a half, 10.5. There we go. Cute. So this one goes on top. Is that adorable? Okay, we'll do this one next. I love that Mike showed you how to do that. And I love that. Now we're all going to do it. You know what? I always, because people always say things to me like, I love that you did that. That's such a great idea. And I always usually give props to, because, you know, there's some things like I do on my own. But a lot of times, that's what's great. Like we can share, right? We can share and then we can help so that, I don't think this one was pressed. This one has like a little ripple to me. So I don't think I pressed this one. Let's go ahead and press this block first. I'm looking at both of these going, I never press these. Always press before you trim. Because your fabric might move a little bit, right? And you don't want to press afterwards. And then have your lines be all off. my iron out? Doesn't seem hot. Yep. I mean, look at, you can see my line is totally off here after pressing. So always press first, and remember those outlines, those are suggestions. That's just a suggestion of where you should trim. There we go. Now that one is ready to go. Was not ready before. Like, look at this. Do you see the rippling? Do you see that? You want that to all lay flat. Face down. This is like the most exercise I've gotten all day. I really press with some vim and vigor. Actually, that's a lie. I did go out and Patrick and I walked the dogs for about an hour this morning. But still, when I press so aggressively, I'm out of breath. And I didn't take my mat back out, but my mat's already a little bit warped. I'm going to have to take my vest off. I'm getting hot, too. Ooh. Perfect. Flat. Gorgeous. Ready to be trimmed and pieced. All right. Again, we're going to use this 4.5. Is it better? Is this a better view? I know it's sideways. Is that confusing? There. I'll frame it to... Hang on. I don't know. Do you guys hate it like that? That just makes it easier for me. Okay, I'm going to go... There's my little centering marks. I'm going to go 5 1/4 on those. Then I'm going to check top and bottom to make sure that's pretty even. And that looks good. Make sure your ruler has room all the way around. Walk your hand up when you're cutting so that you don't make your ruler slide out. There we go. I have enough room to almost make it around here. And then we'll do one more cut this way. 10.5 inches. Top and bottom. Looks good. Okay, that one's done. Look at our trees being built. And doesn't it look beautiful? Uh-oh. I didn't do the middle one. Let me do the middle one. I like this because there's not a ton of squares to have to put together too. I'm going to watch the rest. I'm starting. Oh no, Shannon, did I give you a migraine? Did I give you a migraine? I'm sorry. Was it the sound of my voice? Was I too bossy? Okay. I love these just little centering marks, right? Anything that makes me have a better end product, like help me cut, help me line up, anything like that. Okay. Ten and a half. Okay, here's our tree. We've got, oh my goodness, the little birds. They're so sweet. Is that just adorable? And how about that? Did you enjoy? I need to trim it a little more. I have like a little sharp edge there, but I loved that. And this I love too, and I really think you should make sure that you, what's the word I'm looking for? Trim it close to the edge. It said as desired, but close to the edge was way to go. Okay, this one right here. I'm just going to cut these two apart. This one I think is 6.5 by 6.5. Gonna grab my pop ruler. The other thing I have that I love is I have a 6.5 by 6.5 just regular square ruler. That's like a size I love. I have a 4.5 by 4.5. Someday I'll have every size, but this we can just kind of fussy cut and frame. So we'll just put this around here. Frame it up. Looks good. And just drop this in. Grab the whole thing, turn. There we go. We are trimmed, ready to go. This next one, I think this next one they wanted you to nest too. So this one right here, I have my spreadsheet and that has all the final cut sizes too. That one 6.5 by 10.5. This is a 6.5 by 10.5 inch or 12.5 inch ruler. 6.5, 10.5 is going to be 5 1/4. So again, I'm going to go 5 1/4. Here's my 1, 2, and I'm counting this way. 5 1/4. Can't really see my outline stitch that well. I'm going to go 5 1/4 here. I can see the pink on this side, but I can't see the white on the other. That looks pretty good. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and cut this. I'm 5 1/4 from here and 5 1/4 this way. That should be good. The worst is when you miscut, right? You finally finish it, you press it, you're done, and then you miscut. So if I ever miscut, I take those squares, any miscuts, and I incorporate it into the back, like my backing. And then it has something special in the back. So, you know, I'm sad about it because I have to do it again, but I'm not so sad because I still get to use it. And I just make it work. So we're going to have this one. Let me call you to, oops. And then we're going to add on, oh my God, these are so cute. This will probably be top, bottom. I like it. When I put these on, I put them in the orientation that you can read them. I'm not sure how they have them, but a lot of times they'll do everything facing in. So this will be upside down. I will definitely sew mine on so you can read it. And I'll do this facing in, and I'll do this one facing in. And then we'll put the side borders. I still have to press these. That one will go in this way. That'll be the top. Oh my goodness, is that, and then I'll have this right side, like, so the birds are right side up. And then we have our little, I don't know where to find them all, but these are going to go in here. Mine are like, who knows where they are right now. But that'll say love and it'll go across and it's going to be so cute. All right, I am going to end our sew along right here. I messed up my 2 homework panels. Oh no, did you hear me talking about that, Rolo? Like, just build it into the back. So they'll be there somewhere. Well, that's what I like to do, is I like to build it into the back. No, 4.5 by 10.5. 4.5 by 10.5. You could kind of make it work. Like if you did, you could trim them all down a little bit so you don't have to redo them. And then you lost 1/2 inch. Maybe you sew them at like 1/8 of an inch or something like that just to make it work. And you could kind of ease it all in. We are done for today. I will finish this up today. I'm going to finish sewing it together. And I'll add on the back, just like it says in the instructions. And this is going to be mine with the aqua, which I think is absolutely adorable. I love it. So thanks for joining me. I will go ahead and post that other video later on today after I finish this. And I'm also, after I have my Mac attack, then I'll finish it. And then I'm going to, I'll do the little bunny mug rug, and we'll post that too. Bunny mug rug design will not be available until March 1st, but the kits are going to be ready. Those are going to be ready to ship. I'll ship them out tomorrow, and on Wednesday if you want the smooth, non-textured leather, but I'll be using the textured leather in the demo. Have a great day. Get your pillow done.